What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another Gust to Win podcast. What episode are we on, Stu?
6.
Episode 6. Stu, but how was your weekend?
It was an awesome time. I got to go and participate at the Indianapolis Regional Championships, and I got to meet awesome people. I played a deck that I had a lot of fun with, and building and theory crafting and play testing, and had a good time. Had a really good time. Bubbled out of top 256, unfortunately, with 15 points because of too many ties. I went 4-2-3, and I feel like one or two of those definitely should have been wins for sure, which would have put me in contention, but we'll talk about that later on. How was your week? What'd you do this weekend?
Well, I wasn't I didn't get anything exciting going on like you guys. I didn't go to Indianapolis like you and Sam here. I did see Doctor Strange though. I did see that. I wanted to see before all the spoilers happen.
Okay.
So
we'll not ruin that for anybody that's watching or listening.
So I can't talk about how the Powerpuff Girls were.
No.
With Goku.
But anyways, we're joined by one of our awesome friends from here on Twitch and top 64 player at the Indianapolis Regional Championship, Sam Anserello, aka the Squid Lounge. What's up, my dude?
Squid Lounge.
Hello. I'm just recovering from yesterday. I slept like 12 hours at least.
Yeah, it was your first regional, so I mean, like, it's a whole different experience for most people.
Absolutely.
Too, like that.
Absolutely. I mean, I was lucky enough to play in a couple league cups and get all of my 8 finishes for league challenges, but other than that, no regionals. It was right before COVID happened. That Collinsville happened. The Collinsville regionals.
Yeah.
That was the last
so
regionals.
Plans, and then
I had plans to go to that one, and then I ended up being not able to go. And then right after that, all the regionals got canceled. So
it's been a long 2.5 years, honestly. It like, I know it, 2 years, but 2.5 almost, right? Like, give or take a month or so. Time is a blur.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had a hot weekend, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, deck ran hot early on, day one, and then
yeah, day one you got featured on the stream, the official stream. We'll talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah.
So it's still super awesome. I know what you're gonna say about it, but it's still awesome that you got to be on there and you got the interview with was what Sable House that interviewed you, yeah.
But honestly, I literally don't even know what I said.
I watched it today when I was at work processing stuff. So I was like, I gotta watch this feature match. Since I was there, I couldn't have watched it any other time. So I watched it today. So we can talk
I watched
about
the match.
Awesome.
I went back on the VOD and watched. I literally missed your match by a round. I had stepped away. I think I went to where'd I go? I did something. I came back to check out what was going on. Next round started up, and I heard someone say, "Yeah, Malamar VMAX." I'm like, "Malamar VMAX? What are you talking about?" And I went to Twitter, and then there you were, bragging and boasting and being happy and excited. I'm like, "How? This is impossible." And I found out you were on stream. So right after, when everything wrapped up for that first day, I went back and watched the VOD of you playing. And you know how to handle a squid, man. I'll tell you that.
All right, thank you.
You're good with cephalopods.
So
cephalopods for sure.
Other than this weekend, tell everyone in the stream and in the podcast, basically, like a little bit more about yourself and your Pokemon journey so far.
So far, I actually only started. So first of all, my name's Sam Anserello. I'm from Michigan. Been playing Pokemon. It's actually my first TCG that I actually ever started playing. Only about 2.5 years ago. Yeah, so it was like shortly before COVID. So most of my experience has been online. Played in a lot of the Hexter tournaments, a lot of the Limitless tournaments. Did 2 times. Did the team challenge, got top 32 and then top 64. Actually losing to Zach Lesage's team on the second time. So yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I stream on Twitch, the Lounge. Started that around the same time I started playing Pokemon online or playing Pokemon. So
now I gotta ask, who made those really awesome emotes of yours?
This guy named Stoob. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of him. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah. Nah, I had to. I'm sorry, I had to.
No. Of course. You need to plug yourself there.
But yeah, so
always be plugging.
your favorite Pokemon clearly is Malamar, and
Who would have thunk? Squid Lounge like
yeah,
squids?
what made you want to make that your favorite Pokemon? Like, what attracted it to you? Or
So
what?
prior to that, so prior to that, like my only experience with Pokemon was like playing the video game, like Game Boy. I think up until Crystal, and then I had like collected cards, but that was about it. And it was like Gengar was my favorite. So I was like the Psychic and the Dark types. And so when I first started playing the TCG, started playing Zoroark, and that was like right when it rotated out, and then just switched over to Malamar spell tags. And ever since then, I just tried to find any variant I could play with Malamar.
Oh, those are the
And
days.
it let me.
I remember you did that.
Mm-hmm. That with I still think my favorite list to this day is playing. We went to a Detroit League Cup. We brought like three of us from my store brought the same 60, bringing what was it? Malamar with Mewtwo Mew GX.
Oh, I
and
love
GX.
that deck. I love that
Dude,
deck.
by far, just taking 6 prizes one turn, man.
Oh man, Malamar Mewtwo was one of my favorites. I love to play it, especially when you get like the Trev Noir out before that blew up and expanded with Collinsville and everything like that, and Gengar Mimikyu and that whole box with like Naganadel and everything in there. They're just I loved that deck so much. It was so fun.
So much nostalgia, which is crazy because it's only been like 2 years, and I miss it already. I miss it so much.
R.I.P. Malamar.
You can technically still.
Oh, he's
play
back. He brought back.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a couple variants, so.
Two valid variants in this format right now.
That's. I wish I've wanted like a competitive Ampharos for the longest time, and I tried.
Flaffy. Does that count?
Flaffy's cool. I love Flaffy just as much, but it's not gonna be an attacker ever. It's not the star of the show, and it just gets bodied.
Ampharos. Oh, my bad. Oh, you?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like Ampharos GX. I know from what Team Up.
Yeah, I had
Thunder.
it was Team Up.
That thing.
And I played it. I played it casually as like a fun deck for like League with like kids and stuff for teaching and whatnot. But it was never like competitively super good. But it was fun.
Yeah, Mega Ampharos.
Yeah, Mega Ampharos. Yes, yeah. I did win a League challenge with Mega Ampharos.
Hey. It was auto paralysis, right?
Yeah. That list is on my YouTube. It somehow has like almost 2,000 views.
I clicked on that like a month ago. I was like, what?
From years ago. Yeah. I used to play with a bunch of random megas and make YouTube videos about it back in the day. It was a lot of fun.
Well, hey, we have Ampharos V if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, it's not very good.
But no, we all have our own.
Yeah.
Pokemon you gravitate towards. You like Ampharos. He likes squids. I like Gengar Mimikyu. So
why don't you like Gengar VMAX?
Gengar's so good.
Gengar, no, it's not the same.
So normally we've been doing this segment that we called Rapid Flow Questions, but our legal team has advised us to change the name because it's very similar to something that somebody else in one of their podcasts says, and we didn't know.
We had no idea, by the way. Please,
we had no idea.
We had no idea.
So don't sue us, Mr. Magikarp. We didn't know. Not completely, kind of different. Like it wasn't like fast 5 questions. It was like answer as many as you possibly can. So shout out to Mello and the Lake of Rage. But they only do that when they have a new guest on for the first time. So that's kind of why I guess I've missed it in the recent history. So yeah, our legal team has advised us to change it. So temporarily, we're going to try this, and it's going to be called the 6 prize turn. So yeah, Gazer, I guess I'm taking the wheel. I have the first one. All right, so we're going to ask you 6 random questions, and you're not going to expect what these are. They're not always about Pokemon. And
okay.
Just first answer that comes to your head.
Yeah,
just blurt it out
as soon as possible. Yep.
Yeah.
So the first one, if you had to eat a whole one of these things as a whole, no excuses, a roast beef, a chicken, or a pizza?
Pizza, all day.
Okay. Rapid Strike Malamar or Psychic Recharge Malamar?
Psychic Recharge.
Ooh.
All right. What sleeves, deck box, and playmat did you use this weekend?
Dragon Duel mat, deck box. Actually, I have it right here. Ultra Pro something or other. My buddy Ethan gave it to me, and then Matt was the top 32 mat that I got for the team challenge.
Nice, right on.
Okay, I'm calling an audible here. I'm calling something different. We had an original question. This question's different. Steuben or Gazer?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Gazer just because I used to watch you, and you're the first one I started to know. And actually, you're the one who put me on to Steuben, though. You're the one who put me on to Steuben.
Oh man, I
will say that. I will say that.
After yesterday, that hurt really bad.
Bro, it was so
after our hugs, man.
No.
All right, this is okay. This is a weird one. What's your favorite Digimon?
Oh, I honestly don't even know if I can remember one at all.
Wow. All right. Okay.
That kind of hurts. Wow.
Yeah, I used to watch Digimon all the time. I have a fun story about that later.
All right. Then Agumon or Gabumon? Which one?
Agumon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Last question. If your name wasn't Squid Lounge, what would your name be?
I'd probably just go by Sam Anserello because it's just my first name and then mixed with my last name.
Just like your PTCGL account. So yeah,
PTCGL account. Yep.
Okay, there you go. Brand awareness, and going forward too, people will know you by your name more than your username sometimes. So makes sense.
Hopefully.
Makes sense. But yeah, so that was the 6th press turn. But you picked Gazer over me. I don't know, man.
Hold up. Hear me out. The only reason I said that is because I believe Gazer was one of the first people in my chat that I actually started like checking out on Twitch. This is like just when I started too, and he also put me on to you.
You know,
I wouldn't know you without him.
He did that to everybody though, so don't feel special.
What? But I mean,
no, he
does it to everybody.
He emphasized you. He emphasized you.
Well, I mean, like I remember when I started. He came in and like dropped he couldn't drop bits yet, but he would say something or whatever, and then he left. And eventually, I recognized his name because he came back in again, and I was like, "What?" And whatever. And then I saw him live at like 4 a.m. one day, and I was like, "Oh, this is the guy that came into the chat."
This is the dude.
and it just that's where all the magic started. So yeah, he'll go around, he'll give you the signature 15 bits, and people leave.
Well, it used to be 5 bits. Remember that?
Yeah, it was 5, and then people started to wisen up after I told them to increase their minimums a little bit.
I still have no minimum, so
milk this man for a quarter.
Drop any bits. It's okay.
Oh my god.
Coming up next a quarter.
Yeah.
No, moving on. Sam, man, you and I go back for a while, man. Basically, since you started streaming, I was there watching you in chat, man, vibing out you. You was streaming late night, super late.
Super late.
Yeah, super duper late. I want to open up with this question before we, as we get into the full interview with you. I want to open up with this question. How's the transition from going from online to real life been? How's that been for you?
So much better. In real life is when I started. I started IRL when it was me and my buddy. I convinced him to come with me to a card shop or whatever, and we just went through the 10-cent bin, and we both didn't know how to play. Never actually played the card game, which is actually funny because I actually remember playing the for the Game Boy, the trading card game.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so then we ended up doing that. He ended up getting a bunch of stage 2s, and I had to I did know that you had to at least evolve them in between turns. So I was like,
so
we could try
them down.
But yeah, for 2 weeks we were discarding the energy after every attack. So in our format, Victory Bell from was it Unbroken Bonds? The one that did Burn, Poison, and Confusion was the most busted card in our format.
Like when you evolve into it or whatever?
When you it was just a 1 energy attack. So it's since we were
okay.
discarding energy for every attack, it did decent amount of damage. But
what made you guys think that was the rules?
I don't even know, man. Just starting out new, I don't know. And then luckily I was able to find a local card shop. Well, local is relative terms, about an hour away from me.
I mean, I drive an hour to in the zone where we stream and play at, so it's worth it. No, I mean, I'll talk about that later. But no, it's it's definitely worth having a good shop.
My shop's 15 minutes away, so
nice. Yeah, it's just I remember going to even, I think one of my first League Cups was in Chicago, and that's an hour and a half drive for me. So it was, I didn't even know it was a League Cup. I just thought it was just normal play or whatever, league. and that makes sense why I got washed at that tourney. But everyone was super nice. They helped me build the real Zoroark list with the correct Alolan Muck, and helped me get Marshadow. That was nice. And then so ever since then, I don't know, I just felt really welcome in the community. I felt like no one wanted to no one was like just trying to get one on me, you know what I mean? Just to like beat me.
Mm.
And then even if that were the case or whatever, people would look out for one another. So it just felt like a very welcoming community and just something I wanted to be a part of. And it felt like it gave me a lot in my time to like kind of, I don't know, gain some perspective and gain a lot of like friendships.
Where did he go? Okay. All right.
I
Well,
don't know.
Gazer vanished. Okay, he's back. He's muted.
Gazer gone.
Blink
Oh,
twice
there
if
he
you're
is.
being held.
I'm here.
Hostage.
I had a sneeze, allergies. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay. All right. I'll edit this out.
Unless you want that on stream. You want me to?
Oh yeah, you don't have to
want
turn
that-
off. You don't have to
want me to
turn.
talk?
You don't have to turn off your
Gazer
camera
sneeze.
though. You don't
I mean,
have
when this is seen on, let's say this is seen on YouTube, I don't want to, me going to
no,
like that.
that's
You know?
fine. That's fine. It
That's
can be visible, just not audible.
That's gonna get memed and cut up and taken pictures of and all over Twitter. Come on, man. Gazer sneezing.
That's the plan, baby. We'll Photoshop some inappropriate objects into your hands.
Okay,
and,
here we go. Here we go.
But yeah, no. So I was just able to play out like in real life, and then so the transition back just feels very natural. I suppose I never actually answered the question. It felt almost surreal though, with seeing how many people I was able to see. I was able to play in 2 other in real life events prior to this, like that were actually a little bit larger. Full grip games. They're
Oh, that's
1K,
right.
they're
That's
1K
right.
and they're 2K. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah.
So that full grip games, that 1K and the 2K, you played in both of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which one was the one where you shuffled your hand into your deck?
Golly. So okay. I'm trying to remember. Was that no, that was a 1K. That was a 1K because I was surprised that I was even able to make it on stream. But yeah, it was for the Gym Leader Challenge, and it was turn 2 after time. It was called after like a 50-minute round
This makes it
against
so much worse.
Oh,
This
man.
sounds so
against
much worse
Jesse
now.
Parker in a situation where I cannot win unless I take 2 prizes. Jesse outplayed me by understanding that I was trying to bait him into taking a knockout so I could put 3 damage counters with spell tag on like I forgot what it was on his bench. He only had 60 HP though. And I was gonna put another 30 on or whatever and be able to actually take 2 prizes that turn. With Mew. So he outplayed me, but then I only had 6 cards left in deck. I'm gonna go for disruption and didn't realize I was instantly shuffling my hand into my deck. And
Irreparable game state, game loss.
Unfortunately, fortunately for me, Jesse Parker's a really nice guy, and he immediately saw what happened and offered to just do the intent or just draw with me.
Yeah.
Since he had no way of winning the next turn either, especially after that long of a game.
That's awesome
So
of him.
yeah, shouts out to him for being being a good sport, having a good spirit of the game.
And yeah, that's what it's about too. You have people who are, just I have to win. I'm sweaty. I have to try hard. I have to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want every advantage I can get. And you have people like, shout out to Jesse. I know him too. And that's good, man. That's big of him. Just like, hey, mistakes were made. It happens. And that's a pretty large size event for him to, sit there and be like, hey, let's have a good game. I want a good game. I want a fair game,
Yeah, no, so the thing is, like, I wouldn't blame him if he were to, like, be like, no, I want to take advantage of that because obviously, it's just a misplay. But, man, like, it's a bit, like, I don't know, a bit humbling, I guess, to see that within the community, even. Just that people are just willing to actually, look out for one another.
Yeah, there's a few turds in the punch bowl, but it's not often that you come across them.
Yeah,
So,
I would say, and out of all the card games, Pokemon's probably the best.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've played
in that regard.
I've played Yu-Gi-Oh. I played Digimon. So yeah, I get it.
I thought you were liking Digimon a lot, Stu.
I like the game. As more things have developed with like that community and that online scene and everything, I've kind of grown away from it.
Oh.
Yeah, the game's awesome. It's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. The deck building and stuff in it and the interactions are really cool. But yeah, they have these like really greedy TOs running their tournament scene. And I can't vibe with it. But so you've been playing from online, now IRL at regionals. Let's talk about your experience this weekend specifically.
Yeah, I mean, so it wasn't that far of a drive for me. So it wasn't really a question about whether or not I was going to go. It was about making sure that I got in.
Yeah.
So I think within the first 5 minutes of the announcement, or not the announcement, but like once I figured it out or whatever, 5 minutes from when they actually opened up registration was when I got in. So I was actually really surprised with how quick I got in. But yeah, so just booked a hotel with 3 of my buddies, people that I also played with on the team challenge. And just seeing, yeah, honestly, like seeing like other content creators that I know, and the amount of top players that I recognized was almost intimidating in a way. But what I figured out is if you forget names, you can possibly take games. Just play as you normally would, and you don't overthink things too much. Overall, the experience is wonderful. With all the COVID restrictions, even I think they handled it relatively well.
Yeah, that was all new for me too, since it was my first time back. Since God, I haven't been to a regional since either 2018 or 2019. I want to say 2018. I think it was Philly. The only thing that like I didn't like is that I just couldn't drink water whenever I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's
thirsty.
That's the hardest. That was the hardest part, honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they handled everything else really well. In the past, I would like, I'd play my turn out and then I'd like lean back and ask my opponent, "Hey, is it cool if I take a sip of my water?" And they're like usually cool with it, so it's whatever. But not being able to not drink when you had to, and all the ties, it made it really hard to make it to
for you,
the designated area, to drink.
Because you tied 3 times, so that must have been right after. Okay, and time, and your next round will be up in 3 minutes.
A lot of my other games went long, anyways.
Okay.
So
you had maybe between 3 to 10 minutes at most of the time.
No, there was usually maybe about 20 to 30 minutes sometimes between rounds.
Okay.
Really depended on what else was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to touch on something you just said, Stu. You said used to lean back and say, "Hey, you might get a sip of my water," and the opponent's like, "Hey, cool, hey." But you said some would like no, look me in the eyes when you play Pokemon. Really?
Not this weekend. It wasn't like that. Or
but I'm saying that this happened in the past, though. Really?
Not always.
Okay. Wow.
There were a few people who were like, no, but it didn't happen often.
You don't drink water when you play me.
I mean, if you're like thinking and playing for, like a 13 to 14 hour day, depending on how long it lasts, drinking water is like the most important thing that you can do all day long.
Like, Sam, how much water did you drink this weekend?
Not enough.
Dehydrated or what? Not enough.
Not enough. I was a bit dehydrated after the first day, and actually, in fact, so what happened was, since like you're not like able to like have food or drink in the venue, they had like a separate like space that you were allowed to eat, and take drinks, and they even had like watering stations, if you want to call them that, like just roped off areas, and they would have like max capacity of 8, and so actually it was in between rounds. It was right before they did the lunch break, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like get like an energy drink or whatever," because bit of a caffeine addiction. So
me too. I struggled to find some this weekend.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want to drink an entire monster right before I play a round and then just start shaking and then just knock my deck off or something like that. So, I'm like, I guess my water is just gonna taste like monster, I guess, the rest of the weekend. So whatever. But yeah, like one of the judges, there was no one around me, and one of the judges like ran from across the room or whatever, and it was like, if you're gonna take a drink from that, you need to go over there. And there's like a group of like 6 people over there, and I'm like, I don't necessarily understand that, but that was, I don't know, that was like my biggest thing was like, I was like, I don't know, it doesn't make that much sense.
So you got a little dehydrated.
I definitely did.
Did you see what I'm sure you did?
Oh,
Now,
by the time round 8 was happening, my forearms and my arms, they hurt. Like they literally hurt because
really?
I was so dehydrated. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This
is survival of the fittest out here.
It was
Jeez.
bad. When we left,
it's a gauntlet.
When we left, I was like, we got to find a gas station, and I like went in and I bought a body armor, and I normally don't ever get them because they're just like loaded of stuff that I normally don't want. But I got a body armor and it was gone as soon as I walked out of that damn convenience store.
Well, you need all the electrolytes, potassium, all that good stuff in it. So
yeah,
that's a good call on a body armor though. Good call. That or not a Gatorade, but yeah,
Gatorade's too salty.
Yeah, good call. So you guys got dehydrated. What about food wise consumption? How'd that go?
I also admittedly didn't eat enough.
Oh, jeez.
It was just I was just down bad. Because I ended up thinking I'd be all right, and then thinking I'd be able to like go in between games and grab something from the little place I had there, and I was mistaken. All I had was like half a bag of M&Ms. So got all my calories for the day. Pretty much from that.
Long lines. Didn't help. And then like I appreciate they had the food areas, but at the same time too, like a lot of like the pokey parents and stuff were hanging out in those areas and taking up space. So like they weren't actively like eating or drinking, but they were just in that area, just like existing. So it was a little bit rough. Like I had a Cliff Bar and a Slim Jim during the lunch break, and a bottle and a half of water.
How long were the lunch breaks?
You go into round 3, and then after round 3 was over, they're like, all right, you got to be back by 1:30. So round 3, technically, I think time would have been called at.
I want to say it was like an hour break, if I remember correctly.
It wasn't that long. I want to say it was like. I want to say it was like 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops.
Any food venues over there? Any place to buy food from or anything?
I mean, you're like right downtown in Indianapolis, so if you really wanted to, you could have went out and fought like the lunch rush and got something. There's not like a food court in that convenience store. Oh my god, convention center.
Oh man,
there's not like a food. There's not like an immediate food court in that convention center. There's like little food stands set up and a couple vending machines and stuff like that. But like the line for that little food stand inside of the place was just so long. I feel like people didn't get like enough time in that. And I honestly, like, I've always hated the lunch breaks. It's not a new thing. It's an old thing. I've always hated it.
I wasn't sure. Were you allowed to bring in food to that venue? Because I know that in prior years, you're not allowed to bring food or water into a venue.
The Indy and Columbus convention centers are pretty nice about you having like water and like snacks and stuff. So like when they check your bag, they're checking for like drugs or guns or whatever. They're not looking for like food. Like the lady that checked my bag the first time saw my bottles of water, and she saw my little bag of like hard candy and my Cliff Bars and stuff, and just didn't say anything. So
someone's gonna say, "Is this a pack of Twinkies?" and crush them in front of you, anything like that?
No, there's no bullies.
Okay.
Bully.
So food was a struggle. Hydration was a struggle. My last question to you guys, who both experienced Indy. Sleep wise, do you guys feel sleep deprived? Are you guys tired? I mean, was it 9 rounds, right? Day 1?
Yeah, 9 rounds. It's almost always 9 rounds day 1.
Started at 8 a.m. I think my last round ended at 9:30.
Round 1, like the clock started at 9. We were told to be there by 8:30.
Oh, that's what it was.
Dex turned in at 8. B and seats at 8:30, and then the round didn't start till like 9. But yeah, when
you said that wrong, you had me worried. I was like, oh my gosh.
Round 9 started at 8:30. So yeah, it wasn't until after 9 p.m. when we finally left the convention center, and then we had to wait for one of the guys in our group who volunteered. So
volunteered to help clean up and
he was like tear down crew, and he did like match slips and stuff. So all that little bits.
I'm like, get an Uber. We'll see you back at the hotel.
He actually got up early and left Sunday. He had an Uber pick him up at like 6:30 a.m. to go.
Oh, sheesh.
I was fortunate in that like my hotel was actually attached to the venue center, so they had like the little skywalk or whatever that you just walk across to.
Yeah,
This
not
guy.
not me. We let one of the guys in our group pick, and he always picks like 10 to
Bad
15
decision.
minutes out of town,
Uh-huh.
or like in town, just like 15 minutes away from the convention center. So I mean, it adds up. You travel there back and forth, and by the time you get in, it's like, oh, what about food? What do we do now? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I ended up getting to sleep probably around 2 a.m. that night because I ended up getting lost around the corridors of the event center. Uh, luckily, so I saw that one of the signs said closed between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And luckily, I reached around on the inside and was like, "All right, can I get in from the outside, like from the between the hallway or whatever?" Found out that it was locked, so I'm like, "All right, cool. Glad I didn't just get stuck in between two buildings for the night."
You can
But yeah,
sleep in the hallway, in the corridor. Just
yeah. Got to my hotel room, went through trying to figure out what went wrong in the two losses that I had. Um, in one of the decks in particular, I ended up losing to it was actually one person that I lost to twice. Last round first day, last round second day.
yeah, I seen your tweet on that. I seen you tweet that.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
always
yeah.
the worst when that happens. Sometimes people
It
get
was
like vengeance though, and like get the comeback.
yeah. So I actually didn't even know we were fighting for top 16 at that point. And I'm glad that he got it 'cause he deserves it. Well done for him.
That's that. What kind of attitude is that? You have to
Screwed,
feel like
screwed
you
him.
deserve it, right?
I do. in a way, because I feel like I learned in that matchup that I'm actually supposed to go second, as strange as that sounds,
Hmm.
because I was actually playing, we were talking about it earlier. I like was playing Malamar wrong the entire time on stream and stuff beforehand. And I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah,
how
I'll
are you
go
playing it
first."
before?
I was playing go second, attach the GTE, and then attach the energy to the Malamar V. Uh,
Trinity charge, right? Okay.
yep, a training charge. And then my thought was then you just evolve into Malamar VMAX and then you just try to lock them out of the game. In the Mew matchup, if you go first, you can still get something knocked out like Arceus in the active, right? But I also
Hmm.
played a Ditto V. So then if that happened, if I have Ditto V, Malamar V, and Arceus V, then I can just evolve or turn the Ditto into Arceus or Malamar, whichever they knock out, and I'm good. So you go first. In that matchup of Corviknight, I figured out because it was Arceus Corviknight that I lost to. Um, I think 3 people played that list and made like
Yeah,
top 32, something
yeah.
like that.
That I didn't
Ooh.
expect Corviknight. A lot of people like the day before, like on Friday on Twitter, were like hyping up Aegislash all of a sudden. And I was like, what the heck? And then
Aegis
there
slash.
was a rumor of it being bought out like Friday night from the vendors, which I don't think it was ended up being
Aegis
true.
slash.
Yeah. So I was up late night trying to figure out what went wrong there, and I figured out that I go second in that matchup. Um, but yeah, so I ended up not sleeping until like probably 1 or 2 in the morning, and then woke up 6 in the morning with my phone dead. Thank God I woke up in time to charge my phone and make sure that I get to the venue by 8 and I'm good. So yeah, didn't sleep all that much. You were right, Gazer. Sleep is underrated.
You spent like 3 nights before you left, just up at like. Listen, you're on the East Coast, so you're up at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., just playing and testing and playing. Like you were streaming for like 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. I'm like, Sam, you gotta get sleep. You have a tournament coming. You have a big tournament coming up. Get some sleep. What are you doing?
Squids don't sleep sometimes. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, Gabe that we had on last week, that was one of the things he said to give advice for. Gabe Smart. He was like, yeah. We asked him if you can give one piece of advice. And he's like, get 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, that was
He's
Gust
like,
One episode 5, right?
That was last
With Gabe
week.
Smart.
That was last week. Yeah.
That's a plug to
fantastic
go watch that
advice.
episode if you haven't watched it yet.
Oh man, but yeah, just wish I slept a little bit more. Still felt like I was like I was operating. I was there.
Okay, as long as
But
you weren't
that's
like
why like
zombie zonked out, so
yeah, it's
that's
like
good.
rounds blended in between each other at a certain point, but do what you can.
Okay, question for both of you guys now. Subin and Sam, at what point did you guys get to the point where like, okay, this is the deck I want to run. This is what I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna lock it in. This is it. Like, was it like an hour before it was due? 2 hours, a day before? At what point?
I knew 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Called
But wait, Stu. I talked to you on last week's episode. Matter of fact, I think it's after the episode, and you were kind of like still kind of debating it, and I was like, just play it, and I guess you locked it in, but you didn't know 2 weeks before, did you?
It was in the choices. I mean, I put the most time into the Inteleon deck than I did anything else.
what were your other choices?
I was either gonna just fall back and play Mew, or in our group, one of the guys played a Arceus, Urshifu, Moltres, Crobat, Hoopa, like just a big Arceus box kind of thing, like a combination of like all of them together. But it played Urshifu too. And you played Piers with the single copy of Rapid Strike Energy. It had a lot of different options, and I just didn't feel good with it. Going into
Did that work out for your partner?
No, they played well, no, he played something similar. They changed it drastically. I'd have to see exactly what he played for sure. One of the he and his son, they both played something similar. They both what's funny is they finished like in the results, their names are right beside each other. Like wait, let me look at the group chat in our Facebook Messenger group. It's really funny. They like legitimately finished side by side. One of them screen capped it and put it in. I'm struggling to find it right now as I'm brain farting. Yeah, they finished 482 and 483. So like you'll see first name, same last name, different first name, same last name. So it ended up really funny. And then what was also really funny too, and I think it was like round 4, is one of them was right beside me and the other one was to the other side of the next table over. So it was really funny that like how it all broke down and worked out. But they both played the same thing, and one of the other guys in the group broke off and played Decidueye Beedrill. He loved it, but he didn't do very well.
I would be terrified of that matchup.
Yeah,
because Malamar weak to grass.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to go for the persisting, huh? They just smack you with what's this one attack that 130?
Yeah, Fell Sting or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it's 130. Put a ban on it. 160 times 2 is 320. But Malamar, what 330, right?
The VMAX is
320.
Is it 320 or 330?
310.
Oh, so yeah,
you
would have got clapped by a
his
bee.
Basic. But yeah, again, would get clapped by a bee, and on top of that, the basic Malamar V, horrible health. It's got 210. So,
how many did you hit? Any Beedrill decks? Did you hit any of these Beedrill decks at all? Because they were everywhere. Like it blew up out of nowhere.
This is what I heard. Yeah, I was terrified. It was like I was just like apparently I just faded all the swarm of stingers because I didn't see a single one. I just kept like facing a wall of Mew.
Yeah, I remember like during the lunch break, I saw a tweet from Luke Morsa, that was like, I just lost to the same person that beat Mahone with Beedrill, and I'm like, what is going on?
Dude, they were out there.
Yeah, it was crazy. There was so much
killer bees. Killer
bees,
best protector neck.
Fear to be.
Like
you gotta beware.
We all knew it was a good card, but I never thought it would see that much play.
With all the special energy that we've seen being revealed from all the different sets over the last year, I thought something like Fan of Waves would be like really played a lot. Or when I saw the Zapdos that came out that knocks off the special energy, I thought that'd be a good card. But I didn't think Beedrill, and I also thought Duraludon would be good because so much special energy. But Beedrill's like a thing.
Yeah, I would have loved to hit those Beedrill decks, man. They can't do anything to Inteleon because the energy's in my hand.
They'll be like, well, now what do we do? I don't know. Now, okay, quick question, Stu.
Yeah.
I know you said your auto loss was Whimsicott, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you, I think you lost to one and you tied another one, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah. What do you do against in the Duraludon matchup?
I played 4 Path. So
you can just path.
Round 3, I played against a Arceus Zamazenta deck. Same sort of similar concept or whatever.
Ooh.
But it's not with the ability that shuts off through VMAX attacking. So you just path and go through.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's not as chunky, but did they play that shield?
They did, yeah.
The
And
Dauntless Shield? Okay, so
yeah,
it's chunky.
yeah. But I mean, I also played Tool Scrapper, and Tool Scrapper won
There you
me multiple games throughout Saturday
Okay.
against Arceus boxes with their big charms and their belts, or that the shield in the Arceus Zamazenta match.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, so when did you make your choice about your deck?
So I actually was playing Rapid Strike Sylveon that entire week.
I saw you on stream playing that. Yeah.
Yep, and I got
I thought that was
top
a
8.
decent choice. Thought it was decent.
Yeah, it felt very nice, but it also felt very new, and I didn't feel. I've always had this idea that you go into if you go into a cup, you go into a regional, you go to anything. I guess this is my first regional, but you go to anything. If you're going there to win, play with what you're comfortable with, because it's what you know best, and you're not going to overthink things. You're not going to have games always like consistently going to time because you were taking too long with your choice or something. Or making a lot of misplays because you're not understanding exactly what the matchups are. But if you just go with what you're comfortable with, that's what gets you there. So literally the day that we got there, I go, I'm playing Malamar, and shouts out to Sombra Curse for telling me to just play that and Taiga TCG for telling me just to go with my gut and play what Michigan I think is gonna win, and it was Malamar.
Listen, Squid, you're my boy, man. I've known you since you started streaming, and you've been in my stream hanging out, and I vibe with you. But if I was there, I would have told you not to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not a believer in Malamar VMAX. I wasn't. I said, hey, wait till Dark Patch comes out, and we'll talk about that soon. But I said, wait till next set Dark Patch. I said, it'll make it so much better. But you kept trying to play it. And I'm like, stop, don't. But like you said, you play what you know, and it worked out for you.
Yeah, I had four decks in mind. It was Mew, just because Mew, and I had the cards, so I was there. But that Rapid Strike Malamar would have been great. But 2 reasons why I didn't play it. I don't have the endurance to literally that's like literally just working out. Just shuffling all those cards back into your deck every turn. And on top of that, I was actually terrified of Urshifu. Which I didn't run into.
Yeah, I had a call before that, and Sue, and I don't know if you remember, but during last episode, I said I feel as if Arceus wouldn't be that great this regional. I felt like Urshifu would be huge. I felt like Mew would be huge, and I thought something like a blast from the past, something would come out of nowhere. I was thinking Jolteon for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was wrong. Arceus was. Well, I mean, we have the rankings up right here, but Arceus was all over the place.
Yeah, and in the top 32, there wasn't a single Urshifu.
I know.
Was it
kind of a shocker?
I was so wrong.
was it Bilbao regionals that there was a Mew Jolteon list?
I heard about that, but I didn't look too much into it. I haven't had time.
I heard about that. That's the thing.
Not a joke. Jolteon VMAX.
No, it was. I don't think it was the VMAX. I think they played the memory capsule.
Baby Jolty. Okay.
The memory capsule.
Off those
I think
water
it was
types.
the memory capsule Jolteon that shut
off.
Was it?
That
shuts off the Drizziles, yeah.
Okay. Shutting off those water.
That makes sense, son.
If anyone here is shouting in the background or screaming, I don't have anyone held captive. That is my 9-month-old son. He's watching Jake and the Neverland Pirates. First time ever I put it on for him, and he seems to be enjoying it. So if you hear him just that's what's going on back there. So I apologize for that. My bad. I'm ruining the podcast.
He learned that from you. It's okay because you're usually during your own stream. But
I want to talk more about that list, Squid. I got some questions. I want to know some. What were you thinking? I want to know what was on your mind when you built that list. When did you put that list together, anyway?
I put that list together. I finished it at 2 a.m. The night before.
Are you serious?
100%.
So the one you were playing on stream that whole week prior, this isn't the same thing?
No. The week prior or whatever, I was playing Rapid Strike Sylveon, right?
But I think you played a little Malamar too.
Oh, I played a little bit of Malamar. Yeah, I think that was. Oh shoot, I'm trying to give credit like where it's due on the list. I want to say that was like Braden. Actually was at the regional too. But I borrowed inspiration from his list, which I liked. I'm trying to remember if he had the barrel or not, but the barrel is like it was very similar to the one I had. I just switched a lot of cards into being one-offs though, and then I upped the count for Pierce. for my list because just getting the turn. That's why I always went in with the idea, right, that you go for going second, right, which was incorrect at the time.
Yeah, you always
but
want to go first, always.
yeah, I was going first. But so you end up getting if you end up getting Pierce though, right? You get the DTE and you get the Malamar V and you're good. So it's just a really good starter. But yeah, no, I finished that list at like 2 in the morning. It was made a couple changes. I actually would still make a couple changes. I wouldn't have played hammers. But later on in the day, it ended up working out. So I don't know. I still have split feelings on that.
Yeah, I mean,
You wouldn't have played hammers?
I watched that streamed game, man, and those hammers that first game, like he just after you hit that one hammer and then he just like, oh, all right, on to the next. I was just like, oh my god, let's go. I was like in the room at work sorting cards and pricing and stuff, and just I was like, yeah, like screaming on the top of my lungs. I mean, I watched
you roll
it today,
like hits on your first like 3, 4, something like that?
Yeah, he was streaking them.
It was insane because up until then, I think maybe the game before that, I hadn't hit a single one. So it felt like a worthless card in the deck, and I was just like, I don't know why I played this, but yeah, I don't know. There was a Zigzagoon also initially in the list that felt bad without playing Scoop Up Net.
I
So
can see that.
I would put that back in a heartbeat. Because so many matchups, I could have just taken a 4 prize turn.
Need that extra 10?
Just by dropping a ton on an Arceus that's sitting and then miss the Sharon's Care.
You could have even grabbed it with Piers. That would have been pretty cheeky sometimes too.
Yeah.
Piers and grab energy real quick and boom. Oh yeah. That could have been nice. I can see what you're thinking though. How without the Scoop Up Net, you're like, now it's there. Now do I do? I can see what you're thinking there, but you play the matchup enough. You know now that extra 10 damage matters. It makes a difference. So that's good. That's why you play matches.
Yeah, and no, so like with like Sylveon, even like it makes Meta Champ even that more viable, right? With the Rapid Strike energy,
yeah,
and being able to actually do the Yoga Loop. 10 damage is enough. It's crazy. It's just like Mew with like being able to attack with Mew and Unbroken Bonds. Can cheese you some games.
Just sneak in a KO. How did Hoopa feel? Overall throughout the day, didn't really.
I can see that because you didn't hit a whole lot of Urshifu, so I can see that. But I mean, it didn't. I guess you don't need it for the Mew matchup. You have Malamar, so yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I hit 0 Urshifu. So yeah, I would cut that in a heartbeat. Also, for some reason, I think that maybe it's the sleep deprivation, but I kept confusing the ability that it would hit for fighting weakness. Don't know why. That Psychic and Dark type doesn't hit for fighting weakness.
Oh man,
you thought he was a fight. You thought he had 3 types.
Yes,
you thought he had 3 faces. If you guys don't know, Hoopa B ability is called was it called Two Face?
Yep.
Or dual face, something like that. Double face.
Two
heads. Double head. Anyway, something like that. It hits for a psychic. It's a psychic type and a darkness type.
I have it right here. Hang on. Two-faced, yeah. Yep.
Two-faced, yeah. And you thought it was a fighting type as well, huh? That card would be broken if it was. Imagine.
Imagine.
So did you roll up to did you promote it against like a Arceus, like I take knockout? And they're like, no, you don't.
So that was the thing. So in the one matchup it actually mattered was against the Charizard VMAX because I had the DTE on Malamar VMAX. That would only been hitting for 320 for those two, and I need to hit 330 on the VMAX to take knockout. So I actually needed the Hoopa to actually get enough damage on it. So that was the one matchup that came in handy. Yeah. Other than that, it was useless. I would not play it anymore.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think the hammers it just feels like it goes with this deck. You want to try to deny your opponent, as much chance to play the game as possible with this deck, right? So you try to Marnie him, you try to judge him, you try to get a path down,
slap
you try to knock a card out of their
hammers, and then
hands and hammers. It feels like it works, but you say at times it felt useless, huh?
Yeah, it's just I suppose it's the same qualms that like Mew has with like not being able to find I don't know, like anything off of a Cramomatic by flipping tails too often. But maybe it was just the start of the day, I wasn't ready, wasn't good at rolling yet. I don't know.
Had to get your wrist action going. I
just didn't have it right. So I don't know. I think I'd probably keep the hammers because in a lot of matchups it was critical. Just also because you can also just boss Saul per game.
Mhm.
And if you end up getting enough of their energy and discard that they can't get it back, then yeah, hammers in the fan are fantastic.
Steuben, you noticed the Ditto VMAX, right? You think that's an interesting choice, or I think that's very interesting.
Just the Ditto V, not the VMAX.
I mean, yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
The V.
I've seen Ditto in a few other places throughout like the past few weeks and this weekend. It's cool. I mean, like, it sucks to start it when you don't have anything in the discard pile, so like then you have to like kind of like force yourself to like chuck something in there, and it's like a different mindset to play Ditto sometimes too.
I think though in that situation, if you start Ditto, if you're able to get so at least in my deck list, if you're able to get Malamar V and Arceus, it doesn't matter because all you do is attach to Arceus or something like that, right? Maybe perhaps miss the energy acceleration or something like that, but they have to either target one of the two. But if they attack one of the two normal Pokemon, you just turn Ditto into that.
I see. So it gives you options.
Yeah,
It
and you
gives
can
you a fail
evolve that
safe
same
and gives you
turn.
options as well. Yeah, since it's been in play, you can still
Mhm.
evolve it. Okay.
No,
So no matter
I
what
dig
they
it.
target, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's like it's a very nice safety net.
Yeah, you have to worry about Meloetta dunking everybody out here. So I get it.
Especially with 210 exactly, because
Yeah.
they
Man.
don't even need power tablet.
Nope, they just get there. They get there.
Hmm.
So what would you if you had to relive the weekend with the same deck, what would you ultimately have changed then?
I would have changed. I would have paid attention a little bit better to some of my sequencing because the two losses I had against the Corviknight, I ended up pathing myself the same turn that I had a Crobat because
Ah,
I would missequence it, put down the stadium first, and then instantly realize what I did.
You didn't have
Um,
Crobat in the hand at that time, did you? Like you just
uh,
path Crow, and then you look at your hand, you're like, oh,
Yeah, no. So like I would
oh,
like
okay.
go like I forget I would go back in with like a Piers or something like that to grab the
Oh,
Crobat, and then
mhm.
I would forget about that instantly right beforehand
oh
because
man.
like you want to play your hand down as much as you can. So it's
Mhm.
like yeah.
That sucks.
But so I mean I would cut the Hoopa V.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree
think
with
it's
that.
relevant right now. Um,
Wait till Dark
but
Patch comes out.
yeah, but the thing is I am terrified of grass now because we have Gardenia. So
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
we'll get into that a little bit later. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I would probably trying to figure out what I would cut to put something, but either I would add a pal pad, I'd cut Hoopa, add pal pad there. That's a 1/1, I guess, trade.
Okay.
Because I ended up cutting one boss and having two boss, especially against Mew V or Mew V Max or whatever, was awful in a lot of scenarios.
So what about
Um,
dropping the escape rope maybe for a boss?
so I play such a little switch that I actually need that escape rope.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause we were
you
talking
have one
earlier. I thought I
balloon.
had
You
Switch.
have one balloon
I
and you
thought I
have
had
rope.
Switch. I didn't have Switch. I thought I had Switch this entire weekend.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that beforehand. You said you would, search
Yeah.
through your deck like, oh, my Switch isn't in here. I must have prized it, and it never
I
was prized because it was never there. So
It was just never there. It wasn't in the list on RK9. It wasn't in the list in my deck, so we're south though. But yeah, I don't know, maybe upping one more Raihan. I liked the 3 Marnie. The 2 Path felt nice, but also felt like I was pathing myself a lot.
oof.
Um But I don't know that. But then like the plays with like Avery and Path against Mew V or Mew V Max like a late game, it hurts them so bad when they're not able to draw cards. Even I did it once when my opponent had 7 cards in hand, and I chose that over Marnie, and it was the correct decision. They didn't have a stadium in hand, so I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know what I would exactly cut. Maybe cut down on 1 energy. 6 energy would probably be fine as long as you had some sort of
Ooh,
recovery.
that
So like
sounds
maybe if I
exciting.
cut. Well, hold up. If you actually wait. If you do cut 1 energy, switch it with an ordinary rod,
Then you
cut
get a chance to get
Hoopa,
back to
add Pal
getting
Pad, I think that'd be alright list. I mean, I
a little more
ran
recovery. I see you.
yeah, 3 research wasn't bad.
I think
I
with
never felt like I was
with
like
Palpad, you could probably even cut Piers to 1.
I
think
don't.
he wants that Pierce, man. He wants to make sure he hits it,
Okay,
get that energy.
all right.
He wants that Pierce, man.
I want that. Yeah, I definitely want that Pierce. Other than that, Pumpkaboo saved me a lot of games because if I would get pathed by Arceus, it was wonderful.
Yeah, in your stream game, you used the Pumpkaboo to get rid of your own path, and then Starbirth, and then put another path back
Another
down.
path down.
So
Yeah, disgusting plays. But yeah, I don't know. Tool Scrapper is fantastic.
Oh, Tool Scrapper won me so many games, man. And
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's the beauty. Not the beauty. That's the. I don't know, I guess that's not the irony, but it's just there's a contrast there because Steuben, your deck ran the Inteleon engine, right? So whatever you needed right there, you just grab it. So we need that Tool Scrapper to pick up those knockouts or just do that extra damage, whatever it was. You able to just had access to it. Sam, you on the other hand, you had to rely on Babero, and I love Babero now. I love Babero, but how often did you find yourself like, man, I wish I had a certain card that you just couldn't get your hands to?
There was a handful of games that I certainly, actually one of my day 2 games against Malamar VMAX, I had the strangest matchup where I started my hand, my opening hand was 3 Ultra Ball and 1 Quick Ball. So that felt horrible because I'm like, well, it's going to be tough to not be able to, find what I need later. And I wasn't able to find the Arceus VMAX or V-Star, wasn't able to find the Malamar VMAX. For 2 turns, but they just drew dead. So it was just a really, really long, weird matchup against that Mew. Also the other thing too with Pierce. So if you're able to Starbirth for Pierce, then you're also able to grab Crobat, and then you're also able to draw 7 as well, or draw 6, right? 7. Yeah, 6. I don't know. Anyways,
I respect Pierce.
Sleep deprivation, math, numbers, big brain.
I respect Pierce. I know there's a few people, Azul, Mahone, who don't respect Pierce. I respect Pierce.
No, I think it's an awesome card. So I like it. I like the inclusion of it.
The Babero, though, yeah, it definitely, like, I saw the person who got top 32, they actually got 17th place, I believe. They also played a Malamar VMAX list, and they played 2 Hyper Potion, and they cut the Babero line.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so in situations where, where you're able to get Avery Path in play, and then you're able to still draw cards with Babero, it's fantastic. But other situations, it is just kind of like discard fodder, where you don't really put it down. Yeah, and I guess in a lot of situations, like a handful of situations, especially running one-off supporters. But once you just have to make sure you time that Trinity, or not Trinity Nova, the Starbirth ability. And I think then you're pretty much good.
Yeah, sometimes you see a lot of people grabbing Arceus, and as soon as they put it in play, the first thing they do is flip over that V-Star marker. But it's not always the right call.
No, no, you have to play it strategically. Only thing is, sometimes you're afraid of that. Usually against a Mew deck, you're worried about that knockout, right? They can return that knockout. I mean, not return. They can get a knockout on that Arceus very easily. So you kind of worry should I Starbirth now? So I see people panic doing that sometime during that moment.
Yep. Like early on, so that's the thing too, is it was terrifying that Meloetta doesn't even need to find what do you call it, choice belt or any sort of power tablet even to take a knockout on Malamar.
Yeah, the 210 super frail.
Yeah, so that's just rough. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's a tough call sometimes. I mean, even then, I also only played 1 Evo Incense. I'd probably even up that to 2, maybe.
Yeah, I see that 1 Evo Incense hiding out back there. My last question on the list, and I don't know if you have any more after that, but that Avery, did Avery pull its weight? Did it do anything to help you?
So actually, my first matchup on day 2 was against Rapid Strike Malamar, and it's a fantastic card against Rapid Strike Malamar, especially if you are able to knock out the Octillery. It's fantastic. Also against PV.
Your opponent's probably I bench a Sabo and another Sabo, and I bench my Remoraid and 2 Inkates and another Sabo. I feel good right now. And then
Turn 2 Avery. Turn 2 Avery evolve into Arceus V-Star.
Super limits all their options in their next turn. Yeah, Avery was super clutch.
Honestly,
you ran one too, Stu?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
I also played against a Rapid Strike Malamar, and Avery was really good, but Big Charm carried that matchup for me.
Okay. So people listening at home, Pierce is good. Avery's good. You heard it here first on the Gust Win podcast. It's the truth now. It's fact.
Guaranteed Avery's good. It's what killed. If you think about it this way, Path, Collapse Stadium, and Avery killed Eternatus on top of everything else that killed Eternatus.
Now, I want to let me filibuster with you a little bit. Let me debate with you a little bit. I feel as if Eternatus can make a comeback next set. So I feel like in 2 weeks, Eternatus can come back. Don't give me that look, Subin. Don't. Look.
I don't know.
How so? How so? How so?
Dark Patch is on the way back, right?
Correct.
So we cut out the energy switches, because you have to, he used to have the Moltres V and energy switch to it and blah 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 blah. Dark Patch is on the way back. We have Choice Belt. Even if you get Avery, you bitch, 2 more Pokemon next turn. Let's say you get Avery, let's say you get Path. If you still get 5 Pokemon out, you're hitting 150. Choice Belt makes it 180. 180 is a 2-hit knockout. It's hard for you to get 2-hit knocked out because you're 340. Eternatus is a thick beast.
True.
The only thing that I can see really limiting that deck is Collapse Stadium. That just limits everything you want to do.
Yeah, so that was the other stadium I played. And I found myself in situations where I would be able to have 2 Path in play and then not have a way to break Stadium. In order to make sure that I can turn my Ditto V into something useful.
Oh, yeah.
Or
your Luminion's cut off too, and so is your Crobat and your Starbirth.
Yeah. So I did originally. Yeah. So I did cut 1 Collapse Stadium that I did have in the list.
Yeah. Now I feel like Collapse Stadium could really hurt Eternatus. I don't know. I think Eternatus comes back. Even let's say you throw in Darkrai, V-Star. Now you have an option for V-Starring. You can draw with Liepard. You can draw with Liepard. I don't know. You can Gust with Umbreon. I feel like Eternatus can do a whole lot of stuff now. It's not about hitting that 270 every turn now. I can hit you for 180 and be okay. I can hit 180 again and be okay. I can actually try to heal myself maybe with Cheryl or Hyper Potion, and I could energy switch for the Moltres, or I could Dark Patch. I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring Eternatus back.
I believe.
I'll do it.
I could see it. That was the thing. I had to 2-shot everything too with Malamar VMAX or whatever. So I ended up having to use Hoopa right against the Charizard VMAX. That was the only time it was ever useful. So it's like you're 2-shotting things. I think Eternatus might be all right.
I guess we can move on to are you ready for stonks now? Oh no, we need to talk about Astral Radiance. Or pre-release. What do you want to talk about?
So we have pre-releases coming up this weekend, officially starting. So that's super awesome that we're finally getting some new cards to play with. I mean, Brilliant Stars was great. It brought a lot of new life into the format and gave us a big variety. But we get an even bigger variety, I think, with this coming set. I haven't quite, like I said before, I think Palkia is the card I'm going to chase right out of the gate. But I haven't started to play test or theory craft because my mind in the past week or two has all just been Indy regionals and now since I can't go to Jersey and I don't know what's gonna happen with Wisconsin or whatever, or what is it? Is it Wisconsin? Yeah, right. Yeah,
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then NAIC it's all Astral Radiance legal. So not New Jersey, but the other 2 are, right?
No, so Milwaukee's actually the first one that's going to be Astral Radiance legal, other than the 5K at Full Grip.
Yeah, at the
that's
end of
the only other big event. Yeah,
actually, that's a 6K now. It's gone up.
Ooh.
Yeah, as of today, I think they put that information out there.
Yeah,
they have regionals that weekend, correct? Too.
Oh, is there?
I believe so. So if that's the case,
I think that might be Jersey regionals though. Or no, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I've lost track of all time in reality at this point. I don't know what's real or not anymore.
For, the next Astral Radiance set. Sounds like you need to talk to Palkia and Dialga about time, space, reality.
Yeah, no, I think Palkia is my pick still. I haven't changed my mind on that. I mean, we're gonna see more grass with the Gardenia. Will people play Lilligant? Will they go back to Leafeon? Who knows? Will Fire come back because of all the grass? Darkrai is weak to grass. People are going to play Darkrai because it's a fan favorite. What do you guys think?
Well, I had a bad call on Fire making a return. I called Charizard coming back, 3 weeks ago? That was way off. So I feel like
there were a lot of people playing Charizard at Indy. They didn't have like the greatest success.
Yeah, but I thought it was
there was a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a thing. I thought it'd be like a thing, and I was wrong.
I think there was a whole group of people from like Florida and Georgia that came packing Charizard.
We seen. Oh, matter of fact, you ran into one, didn't you, Sam? You ran into Charizard.
Yeah, the
Charizard. I ran it. So I ended up.
Yeah, that was actually a good game. That was a very good game.
Oh yeah. So, anyways, let's run that back a little second. So I ended up getting to redeem myself from the full grip stream where I ended up marning myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ended up actually clutching a win on an official Pokemon stream. So that was awesome. But yeah, no, that guy ended up going 5-4 and didn't make day 2, unfortunately. So I think Victini VMAX might make a comeback for a short period. Yeah. And Vicenta Scorch too.
I totally haven't been playtesting Victini in a style that's similar to Whimsicott. I totally haven't been, and it totally wasn't in my backpack the entire time at Indy.
He said, "You know,
did you watch play Victini this weekend?"
I might have. Yeah, I might have.
Do I pull it out? You had it right. Do I pull it out? What do I do?
Like I said before, I did a webcam war with 9card on his YouTube channel. And I played Victini, and then when Whimsicott blew up, I was like, why don't we just play Victini like the Whimsicott deck with the Experience Share and the Bibarel? And it's really good. But I was afraid of attacking Inteleons to ruin that for me. So I was just like, I hit one of these Arceus Inteleon decks that would have a water energy and it would just body me.
Isn't that hilarious? You know, Victini is so afraid of Inteleon. It can't knock it out. Inteleon can knock it out. It's so. I'm sorry. How do people play Victini? It's so bad.
It's not bad.
You're afraid of Inteleon.
In best of one, in best of one, Victini sucks. In best of 3, I like it a lot.
Dude, I can't even knock out a Rapid Strike Malamar though.
No.
I don't.
That's the other reason why I didn't do it. I was like, you gotta get lucky. Fair. But yeah, I thought about it. I thought about it. I play tested it a little bit. It felt really good. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. I'm not doing it. I'll play Rapid Strike Inteleon instead. So
okay. I don't get it. I'll never get it. But no, I don't think Fire's gonna make a comeback. I think Grass. I think Gardenia's not going to be used for just grass types. It's going to be used for just anything that needs extra 2 energy. Yeah. So, as much as I like to see Leafeon VMAX come back, as much as I like to see Zarude, the new Zarude, you know, that's basically Leafeon except better because it hits for 120. Mm-hmm. As much as I see that new Zarude, you know, take off, I don't think grass is going to do anything. So I don't think Fire's going to make a comeback. With Astral Radiance, I think the thing you have to look out for is, like you said, Palkia, which will be good. And then everyone's hyped for Darkrai. I don't think Darkrai's that great, but I think this set gives a lot of support. So I think that's a big thing too. You know, I'm hyped about Dark Patch.
Like the V-Star ability on Darkrai is really cool. I like that you can just grab those 2 item cards back.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's correct?
Yeah, unless you can get a lot of energy in play really, really quick, consistently, and all the time.
In that case, you might as well play Shadow Rider, right?
No, because it's weak to Dark.
That's true too.
And people aren't going to give up the dark stuff just because like Mew's still not going anywhere.
Yeah, you see how Moltres is flying around all over the place. That's true. So yeah, I'm saying, you know, remember when Shadow Rider was like, you know, deemed like, you know, too good, too broken because you could accelerate energy so quickly and draw 2 cards, accelerate more and draw 2. And now it's like one of the slowest decks in the format. You just can't get enough damage going on. It's so crazy. I feel like Darkrai's gonna be in the same vein. Like you say, if you can't get enough energy out, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think
the fact it's a Supervisor helps it out, but
how do you pronounce it? Is it Weirdeer or
Weirdeer?
Something what Weirdeer?
Yeah,
Weirdeer.
Yep.
I think that's busted. It's essentially Heatran's GX's ability, right? Burning Road. You can switch it to the active. You can put the energy onto it, and you do 40 damage for each energy attached.
How much?
40 for each energy attached.
How often will you get that much energy on it?
If you use, what do you call it, Arceus, accelerate energy, right?
Or you could use Gardenia because it doesn't specify what Pokemon you put it to.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. You have Gardenia. You also have Melanie, which is a V Pokemon.
So you could probably play grass and water.
Busted.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
For those of you listening on Spotify, not watching, the stream or on YouTube, I'm
Gazer's
yawning.
having an aneurysm.
I'll be honest.
He's having
You're
a stroke.
sleeping on it. That's why you're sleeping on it.
I'm not interested in Weird Ear at all.
It's definitely a good like one of maybe, I don't know. But
No, see, the thing with Heatran was Heatran had Burning Road and he had his GX attack, which was it Hot Burn GX?
Yeah.
And it's just 50 times whatever's on there. So if you have a Center Scorch about to die, Heatran comes in, you move 4 energy, 5 energy, whatever you need, and you just take a big knockout. Weird Ear can't do that. He's
it's only 40 instead of 50. That's the only difference. Oh my gosh.
I yawned again. I'm sorry.
All right. We'll see.
But I mean, hey, I said Malamar VMAX wasn't gonna be good, so
Yeah,
I feel like it can be better now.
Gazer's always wrong. Gazer's always wrong.
Always wrong.
You were wrong before the podcast. You're wrong during the podcast. You're wrong after the podcast.
I'll be wrong after the podcast.
Oh man, I don't know.
Pre-releases. Are you guys going to any pre-releases? You guys have anything going on at your local card shops?
Yep. Playing one Saturday, running one Sunday.
Hey, are you gonna stream the one on Sunday?
Nope.
Oh,
maybe the Saturday one, but I don't think so.
Oh,
I want to.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I'm doing mine May 22nd. Yeah.
Okay.
Odyssey Games.
The shop I've been playing at. Shout out to the American Card Shop and Drex. Shout out to my boy Drex. They're doing one at midnight. That Friday at midnight. So, Jazzy's going to be out of town. She should be back Thursday. Friday night we're going to a comedy show, and we're going to leave the comedy show early and then hit that pre-release. And I'm hoping for some nice pools. I want some dark patches. I got to get them.
Yeah, we've got one. We've got one Saturday at In the Zone. And shout out to our local players at In the Zone because 2 of them made day 2.
Really?
So shout out to Leland Bliss who got 30th place, top 32, and Zach Laska who got 91st with 2 each. They both play different decks. So yeah, if you saw the picture I put on Twitter of all of us together from our group, they're in that photo. So shout out to my boys.
Okay, impressive. Pre-release. It's gonna be my first pre-release. What about you, Sam?
It's this probably my 10th pre-release now.
And Subin, you've been to like 12 of them?
I don't 14, know. I more than I have fingers and toes to count on.
It's gonna be my first time, and it sucks that these pre-release promos aren't some of the better ones. Like I feel like the last maybe 3 sets, the pre-release promos have been like really solid, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
these are like
Chilling Rain was a really good one, just for art.
I'm even bringing
art style.
You get a chance to get a freaking the beaver. You get the beebs.
Yep, a barrel. Yep.
Yeah. So
I ran one of those.
This one's not. This is. I can get a Weird Ear. They have promo Weird Ear. They have Hisuian Samurott and some others. Is bleh.
Yeah. Who knows what'll happen? They might end up being relevant later on or whatever.
That's what typically I've noticed that there's been a pattern of it being like a set or 2 late, but something becomes relevant again.
Yeah.
I think that's how Pokemon.
And then all of a sudden, that promo card that was like 2 cents is instantly worth a couple bucks more. So people weren't really hyped for Bibarel right out of the gate, and then now it's like a $4 to $5 promo, I think.
Yeah, I bought them. Hear me out, and just let me just rant real quick. So I'm working on a second deck. You guys know I play in real life. They didn't have a tournament last weekend, so I didn't get a chance to play. I'm holding a 12-6-1 record, by the way. I feel like that's pretty solid for a first in real lifer in like 20 years. So I'm holding a 12-6-1 record in the last 5 weeks. Didn't play last week, but I'm trying to build a second deck. All I've been playing is single strike. That's all I know. That's all I have. And like you said, if you're comfortable with it, and we talked about this with Gabe Smart last week on the last episode. Go back and listen to it if you haven't. We talked about how familiarity, breeds, competence in using your deck and how you're better with it. So I know single strike pretty well, but I want to play something different. So I've been trying to gather other cards. I think I'm going the Ice Rider route, right? Subin, I ripped one Bibber out of a pack, right? I said, okay, cool. But I have to have 3 or 4. I could never get enough, luck to hit another one. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and buy them. The shop only had promo Bibberels, $5 a piece. I'm like, I don't want to buy $5 beavers, but I need it.
You gotta be flexing, man. You gotta flex.
Well, don't get me wrong. Yeah, the promo looks nice. It looks nice.
You gotta pretend these are alternate arts in the front, but like I almost bought them. But you gotta get the foils, man. You gotta get them blings.
There's some nice looking cards.
It
but here's
good.
the part that got me though. Yesterday I opened up the Arceus V box. Have you guys seen that box yet?
It's beautiful.
We've cracked some.
Did you crack your cosmic?
I got the figurine right there. No, of course not. I got the figurine. Is it blurred?
A little bit.
It's probably blurred. Yeah. I have the cosmic. I'm not opening that. I'm saving this till like
Emily opened
my son's 20.
Her Cosmic Eclipse pack, and she pulled the Pikachu reverse foil with like ash or red or whatever on the table, and then I opened mine and I got Booty Cheeks reverse foil.
See, I'm keeping mine. I'm gonna give it to my son when he's like 20 and say, "Son, go forth and sell." And he'll be set for life.
Yeah, here's your entire college education. No, come on,
go to college.
Get out of here.
But anyway, I opened up the box last night on stream. Opened up that box. I opened up the a couple Sylveon tins. Went through some cards. Why did I open up 4 beavers? I spent last week buying 2 beavers for $5 a piece. I opened up 4 beavers last night.
That's what happens when you bought way more packs than you needed to. You should have just bought singles in the first place, man. How many tins did you open?
2 tins and then the Arceus
$50
box.
20. Yeah, so that's like $75 if you're buying it all at MSRP. You could have built like a deck and a half for $75.
but cracking packs is so fun.
Yep.
See,
I have the same problem. I have the same problem. So what I've been doing to curb that is I'll like when a set drops, our local shop can like sell them since they're like they like hold events for Pokemon, right? So sold a couple days early. So if you're like able to buy a whole booster box, just crack that, and it's great for getting trainers and like other playables from that set. But other than that, I just try to avoid buying loose packs and then just try to buy the singles I need. And that's what I've noticed.
Because you can still build up, like you said, trainers that you need, or other cards that throughout the whole set. It feels so good. It feels right. I can't stop myself, man.
Especially when you get a really, really nice hit.
Yeah.
Pre-release. Oh no, yeah, pre-release. I got the Rainbow Charizard V-Star, and then I went like during finals week or whatever. I was going to get an energy drink from the store. There was 1 pack left of Brilliant Stars, and I pulled the Altart Charizard V. So they get you that way.
You had to flex like that, huh? Okay, appreciate it.
I mean, I need to sell them.
Okay, so coming up on the end of this podcast, we usually talk about stonks. That's where we talk about a card that's or cards that we flex and go up in price or playability. Sam, do you have one? Or I'll start with Steuben. Steuben usually have something on the price side for us. What do you think, Stu?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Beedrill because of its crazy success that it had at Indianapolis.
True.
But most copies on TCGplayer are starting to push to the $2 mark now.
How much was it prior to this? Before regional?
Sub $1.
Oh.
So almost 100% increase. And after you factor into the shipping, and that most sellers don't have more than 1 copy, you're looking at $2 to $250 a piece for just a holo rare. And the closest thing to that in the recent history has been Moltres that we've talked about, and the Inteleon package. So
Inteleon.
Check them bulk boxes at your LGS for those Beedrills for super cheap if possible.
Have them bees if you still can. Beedrill saw a lot of play. It was an interesting matchup. I know it took out a few people on Twitter. They were talking about it, like, the bees are coming, the bees are here. So bees. I don't know. I think we talked about it earlier between the 3 of us when all the special energy was being revealed and released and all, stuff like that. I thought something like Duraludon would be the play. Fan of Waves, but it's been Beedrill, which is interesting. So grab them if you can. You heard Steuben here. You really only need what, two Beedrill, Steuben? Is that about right?
Yeah, 2. I feel like seems to be the magic number. I feel like there's probably a list that I haven't seen that probably plays 3 for whatever reason.
3 bees. Wow. But grab at least 2 if you want to grab them now, because it's a very useful card. It's going to be here for next rotation, and it's only going to go up. So
speaking of rotation, they haven't announced anything yet. So those rumors that are starting to circulate, I feel like, are people like, oh, there's not going to be a rotation.
There's no way.
I don't know what's going on.
That would be, what, 12 sets? No, 12 sets? No way.
Maybe they want to get us on par with Japan finally. I don't know. It's a possibility, but we'll see what happens when they announce it in like a week or two and everyone can stop freaking out.
It's going to get announced. It will. There's got to be a rotation.
Yeah.
It's going to be what Battle Styles on, right? It has to be.
Most likely we'll go E block on.
Yeah, they go in these little patterns where they have like, a chunk of something, like the first chunk was just Sword and Shield, just basic Sword and Shield. The next chunk's been what Battle Styles and Fusion Strike, the styles. And this last set looks like it's going to be V-Stars?
Yeah. There's still VMAXs coming out though, so.
Yeah, those are just leftovers from Japan though. They don't count.
I wouldn't say
I do like Mimikyu VMAX.
I wouldn't say they're leftovers. I mean, like Machamp coming out and
Astro
Radiance, and
that's true.
There's probably going to be a Melmetal VMAX in the Pokemon Go set that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, waiting on him. That makes perfect sense too.
Hatterene VMAX hasn't dropped yet, so we'll see what happens.
The big tower. For Stonks though, I see a couple cards that should see a little more playability. This one sees quite a bit of play already, but I think it's going to see more. Cheryl. I feel as if Cheryl's going to be the play, just to heal off some of that damage, because nothing is. How many decks are one-shotting nowadays? Maybe Mew if you're lucky, but then you have to overextend. Single Strike, Urshifu. There's not a lot of one-shots going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Past weakness, not a lot of one-shots going on. I feel like Cheryl kind of gives you a chance to reset your matchup. So I feel like Cheryl's going to see a lot of play in the right deck, in a certain deck though, a deck that can recover energy or that can get by without having worry for a turn, something like that. But I still feel like it's going to see a little more play than it's seeing now. And the other card, hear me out. This is a weird one, kind of out of left field. Zapdos V.
I feel like Zapdos already had its heyday, man.
You think so?
Yeah, Zapdos already had a big burst before, and like it's just so frail now. Like, and you have to
hella frail. It's super frail.
You have to have something extra on it. You have to have a charm. You have to have a cape, and it's a good card. Don't get me wrong, but it's frail. It's real frail.
I feel like the fact that it can come in, knock off a special energy, and dish out a quick 170 because there's so many V's running around here. I don't know. I feel like it can kind of turn the game, for you a little bit.
Oh,
not like Motra
for sure.
But I feel like it can turn the game for you.
I agree. It can definitely take an easy KO.
You run into an Arceus variant that's not running any Dunsparce. There's no Dunsparce. You drop down to Zapdos and you pick up the knockout, and there you go. And even if there is a Dunsparce, you still knock off that DTE, and then the Arceus is kind of sitting there just dazed and confused. So I don't know. I feel like Zapdos V might see a little more play too, but I've been wrong on multiple occasions. So
almost every occasion.
I was right about Manaphy. I was right about that one.
Manaphy's good. Manaphy's very good.
Squid, do you see anything coming up in the horizon? On the horizon.
If my theory holds true that grass is actually good.
Oh, here comes something crazy. Go ahead.
I would say that Shaman V or Shaman V Star could possibly see a lot more play. Okay. Just because it has a great comeback attack, right?
Yeah.
More for each prize that your opponent's taken. And then the other one that I was looking at was because Leafeon V, you can accelerate grass energy too. So there's that. What was the other one? One more. Oh, I don't know. Oh, Rillaboom VMAX, and hear me out. The Rapid Strike one. You could play it with Arceus. You do bench damage. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe.
Why is this guy?
That'll probably be like an that'll be an LDF or a for the Win TCG video.
Yes, it will. Yes, it
will. Those gentlemen will cover that for us.
Who picked this guy? Sam, those are some of the. I have some bad takes, but those are some of the worst takes. That's like playing Malamar VMAX somewhere, taking to like a big regional tournament or something like that, and placing like top 60 something. That's just come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I could have done better if I would have chose Mew VMAX maybe, but
yeah, but where's the fun? I mean, Mew can be fun, but I mean, it doesn't it feel better to play something that's not Mew in a tournament like this? Like,
yes,
yeah. Because then you feel like you can do your own thing instead of having a target on your back that you have to dance around the entire weekend.
True.
Yep.
Because everyone's out to get Mew. Everyone that has that random. They play a deck, and then there's random dark energy from Moltres to just come in and just swoop in and just eradicate stuff. So yeah, You always have to worry about that Moltres. And even as just not even a weak as a regular Pokemon, a regular different deck, you have to worry about Moltres. Moltres are so scary.
What's interesting too is the fire type Moltres, right? That one doesn't even hit for weakness, just like Hoopa doesn't.
Yeah, just 90, just boom.
So yeah, so it doesn't really have to worry. You don't like grass doesn't really have to worry about that.
Nope.
But unless there's weakness card, unless fire comes back, I don't know. I think maybe grass has a big comeback.
Oh man, Sam. Oh boy.
No,
you're just worried about your Malamars.
I'm with it. I think like Gardenia is just so good in a vacuum that like we could see a lot of grass action.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you watching not watching it right now, the video, I'm yawning again and half sleep. Grass is not making a comeback at all. It's not happening.
And in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, we'll call you. We'll call you and say that you were wrong once again. I'm gonna have to start getting a tally. We'll get a tally. Like it'll keep it on the screen from now on. It'll be like Gazer's hot takes that he got wrong.
Wait,
the screen will be full.
Gazer's cold takes.
even if fire does come back too with like in my vacuum dreamland of grass and fire. You also have Snowleaf badge
for a Leafy.
I accept that. I accept that. If it does happen, I accept that. That's fine.
Yeah,
but don't talk to me. There's a few things you can't talk to me about. Don't talk to me about Shaman V or V Star. Don't talk to me about Rillaboom, and don't talk to me about Victini VMAX. Don't.
Oh, Victini, I could go all day. No, I'm kidding. All right. So, anyways, let's move on to the final little bit that we do. If you're listening this to later on Spotify or watching on YouTube, when we record this live on Twitch, the chat asks us some questions for either us or our lovely guests that we have on. So we're going to go ahead and take the time to answer these questions. Some of them can be very ridiculous. Some of them are very intelligent. Ones. So let's strap in for some craziness. Nixter31, what's your take on the Caribou incident? And for those that don't have context, he's referring to Frosted Caribou, the YouTuber, attended Indianapolis Regionals. And during round 9, her entire deck case was stolen and then dumped into the bathroom with all the cards missing.
Mm-hmm. I think she had three or four max rarity decks?
I believe 3.
Yeah, completely blinged out.
Not counting the one that she was playing with, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think one was Mew VMAX, and that's a very expensive deck. So
she made day 2. I don't know. In my opinion, I would say that it felt very targeted.
I agree.
Okay.
Especially like with like the whole backlash she got for yada yada yada. Just talking about wanting to play like whatever deck you want to at regionals or whatever. And actually enjoy it. I forget who, whatever from. I had some opinions about saying that you're wasting your money if you're not playing something meta.
What was it? The girly deck comment or whatever it was? Like, oh, you should play. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Ugh.
Yeah, and then a bunch of people just started like giving her a bunch of backlash, saying that she only gets like the attention that she does because she's a girl and all that. And I don't know. So it feels very much like someone was trying to ruin her day, trying to just ruin her whole regionals.
Well, now hearing all that, I can see what you guys are saying now. You guys are probably right. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's because from what I've heard, like I was talking with Raul. Well, not really. I was around Raul talking with other people. And Raul was talking about like at any other regionals, he has never seen anything like that. And the fact that like he didn't feel comfortable to go day 2, and she made day 2. Just kind of breaks my heart. I mean, it feels like I don't know. Mm-hmm. Feels like someone just didn't want to be part of the community, but that's not representative of the community. I think that the community, generally speaking, is like able to look out for one another and in the best interest of like not just to your advantage kind of thing. I don't know. Just feels very targeted. Feels very
yeah, like if it was somebody else that had their stuff missing, it wouldn't have generated as much buzz, but because of like again being a huge influencer, yeah, I mean people probably don't like you or have a target on you, and it's honestly bullshit.
Especially being a female influencer.
Yeah,
because a lot
they
of
have
them
it the
get
hardest.
discredited. They get
They
it.
do.
They get so easily discredited by just people just brushing off whatever by like, oh, someone's slightly attractive, someone's a woman, someone's whatever, and it's like they're genuinely good at playing the game, right?
Yeah, that's the horrible part. We all know Punka Amy. She's gone through that. A few weeks, 3 weeks ago, we had a Linty Rose Cup,
Mhm.
and Linty's dealt with that too. Lindsay's dealt with that, and
It's-
it's if you're good, you're good. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I coach girls basketball. I've been coaching high school girls basketball for I guess we're on a whole different subject. But I've been coaching high school girls basketball for 15 years. I'm kind of dating myself. I'm kind of old. And there are some girls who I know I can hang with on the court. There's also some girls I coach. I'm like, wow, I would probably get scored on against you. You know, I probably couldn't stop you. If you're good at something, you're good at something. You know, regardless of gender. So if you're good at playing Pokemon cards, if you're good at running track, if you know, and there's different levels to it. But I mean, if you're good, you're good.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with what may or may not be associated to what is inside of your pants. Like it doesn't matter. None of that matters.
Yeah.
And people
I don't
just
know.
either don't get the respect they deserve or they get treated like this. And it's just it makes everybody look bad too when one bad person decides to take actions like this into their hands. And it's honestly it's messed up and it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen.
No.
Not at all. I mean,
I'm
if
glad
you
we
went
answered
to
this
Indy,
question.
yeah, if you went to Indy and you know anything about what happened, please talk to someone. Please let someone know what happened.
Yeah,
'Cause
contact AJ Schumacher, the head of round 3
there you go.
events. Hit them up, hit any up the judge staffs, put a ticket into TPCI, support.pokemon.com, and attempt to give the information in the right direction, or just reach out to Debu or whomever on Twitter that may be able to get in contact with the right people.
Yeah, because no one deserves that.
No. Next question, I'll take that one from X10 Grim. What is the thought process you take when building a deck?
So admittedly, I don't I have never built a deck from scratch that was actually good. I think the first deck I built was like what Whimsicott GX, just for the ability, and which wasn't that great. So I've learned to mostly look at like what other people do on like Play It Out Limitless, look through deck lists. I'll try playing their list if I see something that I didn't like. If I'm like, I think Justin Basil has a website. It's just justinbasil.com, which has like a bunch of like deck building advice. And that's how I learned a lot of my like ideas of like, oh, if I'm just not able to find enough energy, then maybe I need to find another way of like either finding energy or accelerating energy. So pretty much it's a lot of just like playing and then kind of, I guess, analyzing what went wrong, what you can change about that, if that's changeable, and if you just cut something or not, just because it just doesn't work. If that makes any sense, I guess. I don't know. Consider more myself of like a tech decker. Some people are good at like skateboarding, and then some people are good at like tech.
Oh yeah,
That's me.
fingerboards. Yeah.
Little top
That's me.
decks.
That's me.
Okay.
Yeah, little top decks.
That's me.
Gazy, remember
Little tech decks.
Rerun? Remember Rerun?
Yeah.
Yeah, he always wanted to do a tech deck stream, and Pass would always trying to like bully him into it. It never happened, but I would have loved to see it.
Was he good with the little tech decks?
Yeah, he was.
It can be impressive.
Would have been a cool stream, man, or like a channel point reward or whatever.
You have skateboarders and you have tech deckers, and that's just how it is, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Me I like to experiment and try different things myself, and sometimes my things don't work that well. Sometimes they do, but and other times I do net deck. So I mean, it happens to all of us.
I think like those resources are great to have, especially for people that are new, so that way they're like able to try out things that like other than just straight meta things, right? Like being able to see how someone else like built a deck around, I don't know, like even Whimsicott just like randomly popping up, right? I would have no idea how to like build a deck around Whimsicott. So just like looking at stuff like that, it's just helpful to understand the thought process of like other people. But the best advice I've ever heard was shoot, was it Worlds? Stefan Ivanov talking about how many outs to have to a situation. Like just like making sure you build your deck around making sure you have out to like if you're stuck in the active, for example, right? Making sure you have enough switch cards, making sure you have enough like ways to recover energy, ways to recover Pokemon, like consistency, especially at large events, is definitely the way to go. Hacking is for the things that you want to avoid or that you're like most scared of. Which is why I attacked in Hoopa, but I never ran into any Rep Strike. So that's how it goes sometimes.
That daggone Hooper didn't do anything for you. So you want to check out the next question?
Yeah, we'll come. We have a few repeated offenders, so we'll skip a little bit around. This question's from PJ Watusik, the manager of the Shuffle Squad. What PJ. Regional are the Gust of Wind podcast hosts giving free hugs at next?
Oh,
Gazer. PJ. Gazer, this one's, I think, more for you than me, really.
Well, PJ, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to hug you, I don't think I'm going to any regionals until next season. Given the way everything's going with COVID, just the restrictions. Just hearing the horror stories of you guys can't drink water, you guys can't eat food. They took away your Twinkies and squished them and stepped on them.
No one did. Okay, there's no Twinkies. No, they didn't. No, no, there's no Twinkies.
Oh, well, just based off the horror stories, they wouldn't let you drink water.
It's not even a horror story. It's just, it was a rough situation as a
Sam said they sent him to a corner with like 6 people, and he can only, stand over there or something like that. And he said there were some moms that, were yelling at you, some Pokemoms or something.
No one was yelling.
Just based off all of that, and the fact that Baby Beam, the main thing is Baby Beam's.
If for whatever reason you didn't listen to the beginning of the podcast, and you're only listening to this part now where Gazer's spilling out misinformation, I assure you he's just trying to be funny.
Trying to be? I am. What do you mean trying to be?
I don't see anybody laughing in the chat.
Frizz laughed. Oh, oops! Now look.
No, that's a derp. That's a derp. That's not a laugh.
But no, just basically off the fact that Baby Beam is only 9 months old. I want wait for him to get a little bit older. That way, if Jazzy and I decide to go and he's with the babysitter, he's fine for a couple days. Or if I go and Jazzy stays, he doesn't. I don't come back. He's like, who's this guy? He remembers who I am. So just based off of that, off his age, I'm gonna wait. But Steuben, what's the next regional you're going to? I know you like to give out hugs and sheep.
Yeah, we gave out a lot of sheep this weekend. But I don't think I'll get to another regional this season, but I should be at NAIC.
Oh, no more regional? Oh, man, that sucks. But, okay. I know you gave out Mary and Flaffy. Any Ampharos?
Yeah, a couple, but no one hit the Ampharos EX. It's still in the box, so we'll try again at NAIC. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You got a Mareep. A couple people got.
There you go.
I think both Jake and Chuck from Triple P, they both got different Flaffies. There were
my buddy got a Flaffy of yours.
Yeah. I mean, I had a big variety. So there's even like a first edition Mareep from Neo Genesis in the box still. So
I love that.
Oh, you're gonna give that away, bro?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I buy them as bulk. So
I love that though. That's iconic. Like.
Yeah, I had my little Ampharos poked out of my backpack the entire weekend. Mm-hmm. People that didn't even know me or whatever, like, oh, a cute little Ampharos, and like, look how dirty its tail and its feet and hands are now from sitting on the table in the matches, and I took photos with it on the trip on the way there and whatnot. So my little good luck charm. You're allowed to have a good luck charm at Pokemon events if you didn't know.
You guys can donate any extra Ampharos to Steuben at PayPal.com. Donate all Ampharos to him, please. Help him.
Yeah, sure. Help me.
Get him more Ampharos.
Yeah.
But no, so Steuben, you might go to NAIC, but no more regionals, huh?
No, I don't. I think some of the guys in the group do want to go to the Wisconsin one, but I don't know if I can afford to / get the time off of work to do it. So I'm not 100%. It's not. It could happen, but it's not likely. But Emily and I will both be at NAIC. Even if we can't get as competitors, we'll try and get as spectators. If not, we'll still go anyway. So
What's that's coming up in Ohio? Which one is that?
NAIC,
Internet.
yeah,
That's
Internet
okay. Okay. Then yeah. Okay.
in
Then yeah.
Columbus. Nice 2-hour drive. Feels good.
Yeah.
Sam, what's the next one you're going to?
I'm going to Milwaukee for sure, and Internet in Ohio, in Columbus. But other than that, I don't think I'll be able to go to Ontario or whatever that's coming up, I believe. So yeah, those are like the two closest ones.
Vancouver.
Thank you.
Vancouver and New Jersey. Yeah, those are definitely out of the cards for us. It's crazy that, like, yeah, sure, I live in Pennsylvania. Technically, I live in Pennsylvania, but like it's easier to go to Ohio and Indiana and Wisconsin than it is to go to New Jersey. Like, it's so weird. Like, if there was a St. Louis regional or Collinsville this year, it's technically the same distance, I think, as going to New Jersey. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, if I had enough points that, like, I could possibly get a Worlds invite, like, if I was able to do League Cups, like, I only had one League Cup finish that actually counted for points. So, if I had, like, more League Cup points, then I would definitely be grinding out regionals, but I just want to go for the experience for sure.
Yeah, the experience and just, the camaraderie, hang out with the people, stuff like that. I get that. Meanwhile, I'm on the West Coast, so if I was doing anything this year, I'd be extremely limited. I would have been in Salt Lake and who knows where else. So,
yeah, maybe
what
next
else is going on out there?
Vancouver. That's really it. Yeah.
Yeah. When's the next West Coast regional? That's what I want to know. Can we get one in San Diego?
Yeah,
get one in. Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year. Hopefully, it's better off for
us. I mean, the real West Coast, not Canadian West Coast. The real West Coast.
Oh, you mean Disneyland?
Exactly.
the 51st state, Disneyland.
All right, I'll take the next question. I'll go back to X10 Grim's question. This one says, "What deck would you like to come back alive?" Let's just answer that one-word answers. I just want to see what you guys think. No explanation, just answer. First thing off the top of your head, what deck would you like to come back alive? I'm going Dragapult.
I'd probably reiterate that Dragapult. It was a really fun deck to build.
Oh man, single strike?
Who says it's gone?
Everybody else except for you.
I think single strike would have been a good call this weekend, possibly. It has a lot of favorable matchups, even against like VMAX, right? As long as you like outprize them. Yeah.
I have okay. So first off, I feel attacked. Secondly, I can speak to every single strike matchup. Mew VMAX is one of the top matchups for this deck. Unless they're playing Echoing Horn, then you're in trouble. But other than that, it's a great matchup for you. You have Umbreon on your side. So
yeah, it could have been been a great call for this weekend even.
I feel like it's a great meta call right now. That's why I'm playing it.
Okay, fine. Hey. I take it back. Jolteon.
I miss Jolteon. I miss that guy.
All right, on to the next one. Paspin Toot, aka the Papa himself. Aside from the obvious GOAT LDF, who has your favorite YouTube thumbnails in the PTCGO/PTCGL category?
Would I be biased if I said Steuben? I'm really digging his latest thumbnails.
So my latest thumbnails aren't my own work. Massive shout out and credit to MWDC, who's kind of like self-volunteered to do this, and I was like, you know what, he's really persistent, so I asked him for his email address, and I just made him an editor. I said, have a field day, bro.
Right. He just came through and said, listen, I have to help you. This is horrible. Let me help you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he like had concepts or whatever and ideas, and I was like, I like it. Let's do it. I'm down. Let's try it. And
big shout out to MWDC. He does a lot of things for me too. He's great.
It worked out awesomely. So yeah, can't do it without him.
Yeah, he did the thumbnail for your latest video, right?
He did, and he went back and redid a couple old ones too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Your latest one is about upcoming card prices, right? Stocks.
Not upcoming, but like existing card prices that I think are like good ideas. Okay. We'll revisit that in about 2 weeks probably. So.
I think
it was a good video.
I guess if I were to get just chime in, I guess, would be probably just tricky gems. Like I feel like it's just very just shows off the deck or whatever. Like the last handful of them or whatever.
To give out a real answer, I have to go with and he doesn't make videos doesn't make content like he used to, but he still makes puts one out, a couple of videos a week. The Sable Eyes, Mitch.
Yeah.
A lot of his thumbnails, like he played, unfortunately, Malamar VMAX, which I don't understand why you people play that, but he made a video about that. He's like, this will hurt your hand, and it's like a guy like holding onto his hand like this, and like that's clever. That's clever.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I do like their thumbnails. They're pretty awesome. All right. Next question from Sharded Myself 04.
Are you allowed to say that on stream?
Yo,
what's that? That's fine. Two Gazer. When are you gonna stop stealing LDF's decks and saying LDF? I was making this first. Keck W.
Okay. So I'm not stealing his decks. Okay. LDF and I are like myself, LDF, and For the Win, our boy Sean, who we had on 2 weeks ago. Was that last week? No, 2 weeks ago. 2
weeks.
We're like deck building savants.
Three weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Jeez.
He was episode.
Hey, time is flying, man.
He was episode 3.
Man, time is flying. But no, we are deck building savants. We just we see things differently than other people see them. We see connections and routes and combos.
Hang on. When you say we, like
myself, LDF, and For the Win TCG.
Where is this? Where's this content at?
Okay, so I might not post what my thoughts are, and present it the way they do, but it's still there. Trust me.
And
so when I see a video that LDF puts out, or For the Win, I'm like, man, I had that same idea. You guys just did it better. You guys beat me to it. Or hey, my list tried this or that. I comment on their videos all the time, and I just feel like we're all on the same wavelength. We're special. We're like a step above you guys. In a different like atmosphere. Deck building wise, that's all I'm saying.
Just built different.
Oh yeah, totally, Gazer, totally. Yeah, that's the biggest scam you've ever admitted to this time. Oh, you're like worse than a Batman villain. just scam after scam out here. You're the Riddler, you're the Joker, you're the Scarecrow rolled into one.
I have a YouTube video where I poke fun at LDF beaming at every deck I ever tried to come up with, and the intro's hilarious. But yeah, once again, I had a deck idea. I was like, okay, he's not thinking about this, so never do it. Let me start working on a video. I sent it to my editor. He said, hey, I'll get it done for you in 2 days. Tell me why a day later, LDF put a video out of it. I'm like, how? So
because you stole it from him in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Next question. I'll read the next one. Who's this from? Okay, this is from our boy Shark. Is Ditto V better than Moltres V in your Malamar list, Sam? So this is for you.
So I would have gone if I would have changed something. I think maybe Galarian Moltres V would have been better than Hoopa V. But I think that Ditto V is so important in building a deck just around Malamar VMAX attack. Which is why I went more heavy on the Crushing Hammers, the Fan of Waves, the Marnie, the Judge, which is really, 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 really good against Mew with their Rotom Phone. Because if they end their turn with Rotom Phone, because they whiff the attack turn 1, you're able to Judge instead of Marnie them into what they want. So, I don't know. I think the Galarian Moltres V would have been nice, but I also was playing 2-path, so I was pathing myself already with Ditto. Just by missequencing, so I think that Ditto V was definitely uncuttable for me.
Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think just with Path, with my plan, just going with Path as often as I could. Then yeah.
Yeah, I bet you wish you had that collapsed stadium that you were talking about earlier, huh?
Yeah, I really wish I did. So many times.
All right, so the next question is from PJ2, Mr. Squid. Do you think Malamar VMAX will be, quote, more fun, air quote number 2, with the next set? Probably in regards to the dark support, dark patch, and all that.
Yeah, I would say it would be fun. I'm terrified of if grass becomes relevant. Because if grass becomes relevant, hear me out though. I'm saying if grass becomes relevant, it's a dead deck.
Yeah,
It's weak to grass.
It's 310, so I mean they only have to hit even a bare minimum like 130 with a choice
With a
spell,
belt.
and you're gone.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
Decidueye, if just Decidueye could kill me, but
I
don't
yeah,
like that.
and
Imagine dying to a Decidueye.
I don't
yeah,
like
and
that.
a bee and a belt takes you down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Imagine Beedrill killing you, but not using persisting. It just how does that happen?
Yeah, they have 2 outs against me too with Arceus. Crazy.
yeah, you're lucky you didn't hit any of that.
So what you're saying is Malamar VMAX isn't that great, like I've been saying. Is that what you're saying?
No, I will never say that. I
But I
stand
feel
by
like
Malamar.
I feel like I can respect it more when Dark Patch comes out. I still can't even in your list and other couple lists that did well. I just don't. I'm not a big Malamar believer. I feel like it's gonna be better with Dark Patch. And this is a guy that loved Trevenant and Dustnor. And had a similar kind of attack. I love that card to death, but just something about just Malamar, you put it on the bottom of the deck, and it's just I don't know.
Gazer loves to hate
like,
the things that everybody else loves.
To be fair, I feel that though with Trevenant Dustnoir. I've had so many different times where it's like, oh yeah, here you go, but back in the deck, and then top deck research, top deck Drizzile, top deck.
Yeah,
It's pain. It's just pain.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, one final question from X Tangram. What is the next deck you're looking to build? I'll answer. I'm gonna build Palkia. Like, I got Astral Radiance pre-releases this weekend. We talked about a little bit ago. And if I can get my hands on Palkia, then I'll start theory crafting sooner than later. I'm a water man. I love Dice Rider. I love Inteleon. So
I did like some Ice Rider. I like that too. You're right. Myself, I'm just looking at the options with Gardenia and with Dark Patch, just the energy acceleration. So anything, maybe I'll lean a little towards grass, probably some Delmise. I like me some Delmise. I might experiment with some dark stuff with a Dark Patch coming out. I think I'm gonna come back with Eternatus. So I think I want to revisit some old cards that are getting a lot of support with this new set. And I guess I'll dabble a little bit in Palkia and Darkrai. Maybe the Yelga could be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I feel like a lot of the decks I'm gonna build are gonna be built around very similar to like Gardenia, using Melanie, just using Arceus. Like, there's just so many energy acceleration options there. Also, I have a dream that if energy is all like flooded on the board, that Luxray will be good.
yeah, I can see the Luxray being pretty clutch.
But
maybe you're right.
Or like you said earlier, maybe Weirdeer is the play. Who knows?
Oh.
Or Weirdeer, yeah, or just Weirdeer with
I was following you with Luxray, but Weirdeer, I can't go there.
It's actually easier to build though, in theory.
All right, that is the end of all our Q&A. So I think, Sam, this is the part where you get your plugs in, whatever you need to say, any shout-outs, drop your links, tell everybody all about you, what's going on.
You can follow me on Twitch at the Squid Lounge, or subscribe, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Follow.
Thank you. I'm just
subscribe.
Subscribe. Give this man your money. Come on.
Yeah,
hurry up.
Put
the money in the jar.
But I also have like updates on my Twitter, which is also the Squid Lounge. So I'm trying to think what else I have to plug. I have a YouTube channel that I haven't uploaded any videos except for one, where Danny Altavilla calls me garbage. Other than that, we go with shout outs to the Odyssey crew that I went with. They were huge on like helping me like figure out what to actually play, and consistent with helping me like actually figure out, I guess, ways around things and like play testing and stuff like that. Also, shouts out to everyone that follows me already. Shouts out to everyone that supported me this far. It's been wonderful. And honestly, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of support that I've gotten. But yeah. And also, shouts out to you guys. Thanks for having me on here.
No problem, man.
Squid. Oh.
That's,
yeah, I was talking with Subin over the weekend. You know, we're like, what do we do for a guest? Do we skip the episode? We can't skip the episode. I said, you know, we'll figure out a guest. I said, let's grab someone who does, you know, really well with some type of random, wacky, out of the blue deck. And lo and behold, you did well with some type of random, wacky, out of the blue deck.
It ended up happening. The cards were in my favor, I guess.
I still don't respect Malamar VMAX, but that's neither here nor there.
You know what? All right. You know, you can have your opinion, as wrong as it may be.
One last question for you though, before we end this.
Absolutely.
Sam, thinking back to this weekend, what's one of the one time where you could look at your opponent's face and tell they were raging because like you knocked a card out of their hand that they needed and they were passed, and you could just tell they want to quit the game right then and there. Can you think of a time when that happened?
So in a particular matchup, my opponent had told me to hurry up when I'm on game 2, even though we had finished in maybe 10 minutes done for game 1. So going into game 2, I was a little bit tilted on that. They tried to play a Fusion Strike play where they had 4 Fusion Strike energy already in play, 2 and discard, 1 attached, or 2 attached to like Malata or whatever, Malata. And I called him out on that, and he goes, "Oh no, you can go ahead and call Judge." It was just, you know, one of the players trying to shark me out of, you know, calling Judge. And yeah, that was actually like I think his tipping point, because after that he was just locked out of the game, and he did not look very happy.
Oh man.
So
the power of public knowledge.
Other than that, like genuinely, other than that, every other experience I had, no one looked like they were like even if they were losing, they weren't upset. Even if they were winning, they weren't upset. The stream, other than that, the stream, maybe I could tell he was a little tilted that I hit those hammers. And I was actually like hitting like the fan waves and stuff. But other than that, like he was still, yeah. Okay, company.
Who was it who had the tweet? It was a perfect tweet. It said, and just like everyone predicted, Charizard VMAX takes a knockout on Malamar VMAX to win game 2 of round 5. I'm like, no one predicted that at all. That's hilarious. Someone had that tweet. I forget who it was. Someone had that tweet.
I have no idea. I didn't see that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But no, Sam, thank you for...
I was just saying, it's a matchup for the century.
I'm glad you got on stream again and got to redeem yourself.
Yeah, me too.
You know, that whole full grip debacle where you shuffled your hand. We'll leave it alone. Anyway.
Never again.
But no, Sam, man, we appreciate you coming in, man, and talking about it. Mr. What'd you finish? 40. What did you finish?
42nd.
42nd. Yeah. So Mr. 42nd right here. This is Mr. 42nd right now. Sam, we appreciate you. Steuben, any last words, parting words, anything you want to say?
Shout out to everybody who I got to actually meet in person this weekend. The man below me on the screen and here on the podcast, the Squid Lounge himself. I got to meet PJ and Lindsay and Doubles and Celio. And the Pit Pokepod guys, Panux and Chuck, and Professor JJ, and
oh gosh,
oh man, I'm brain farting. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I tagged a bunch of people on Twitter. Oh, Gabe Smart, I met Gabe. So it was really cool to meet people that we've talked to and interacted with. Like, I was on the Triple P podcast forever ago, and like, yeah, they're only like, you know, an hour away, and I just now got to meet them in Indiana instead of my own home state. And then that we've had Gabe and Lindsay on. We got to meet them in person too. So shout outs to everybody. It was super cool. Everybody who randomly came up and got a sheep, or all my opponents that got sheep from playing with me and all that nonsense. And then,
how did that work? So after a game, you're like, hey, here's a sheep.
Yeah. Well, you know, like when you sit down at a match at a tournament, people are like, oh, you know, where are you from? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I mentioned, like, sometimes I would say, oh, yeah, you know, I stream on Twitch and make YouTube videos. And like, oh, cool. And I'm like, yeah. And at the end of the game, I'm like, hey, by the way, like I said, I'm a content creator. I have this little box of Mareep and Flaffy and Ampharos are my favorite Pokemon on my emotes on Twitch. In this pile of cards, there's a $200 approximated value Ampharos. Take your pick, face down, and think of it like a lottery game, basically, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
lottery.
Then I have my little business cards, so I, you know, slip those in there too. Self promo. Okay. I know them.
I see it. I like it.
But it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna be honest. I just wanted the signature. I didn't care about the Ampharos.
But yeah, I don't think
this is not my stupid.
Most people,
Yeah, I got stupid.
nobody like actively came up like trying to get the Ampharos. Like the locals, our local guys, like they're like, well, I want to crack at the Ampharos. I was like, no, I see you guys every week.
No, not you guys.
And then like the Shane and Zach and Leland would all be like, oh my god, it's stupid, and like, oh my god, they would just come up to me when I'm talking to other people. I think they did it when you and I were talking, right? Did they come up and they're like, oh my god, it's stupid hilarious. Or whatever? And then like,
that's hilarious. Everyone needs people like that in their lives who's gonna hype you up when you don't need to be hyped up, but they hype you up anyway.
They were being sarcastic though.
I'm just saying, it makes you look like a rock star in front of somebody. They might not know. Yep. They might not know they're being sarcastic. That's great, man. I wish I had friends like that.
It was a fun time. It was a fun time.
Yes, it was.
But all right, I think that wraps it up. I just want to say, you sound like you guys had a ball. I can't wait till I can start doing stuff like that and meeting everyone and getting all the autographs and the selfies and the pictures. You didn't take any pictures, too? Just you shook hands and walked away?
No, I not with a lot of people. I didn't want to go up to people and be like, hey, let's take pictures. Like, cause
I'm going up to everybody.
People are like doing their own thing, and I don't want to like intrude or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody asked for one, I would, I happily obliged. But I didn't ask anybody.
Hear me now. Anyone who's hearing this podcast and sees me at any regional event, any local event, anything playing Pokemon cards, or if you just see me anywhere on the street, if I recognize you, if I know you and I see you, I will ask for a picture. I will say, come here, take this selfie with me. This is going on Twitter. I'm going to talk about it on Twitch. Everyone's going to see this. So just know that. I am that guy. I will come up to everyone. I will intrude. I will do it all. So deal with that.
Well, you are.
Sam, I'm coming for you.
You are normally pretty rude.
I'm coming for you.
I'm going to be honest. I need you to, because I've got bad social anxiety. So I overthink everything. And I'm like, nah, they probably don't want to talk to me.
You'll be the guy standing in the corner like, nah, I better not say anything.
So yeah. So if you see me and you want to talk to me, please come up to talk to me. I most certainly want to talk to you.
It was funny because like I looked for you like all day Saturday when I finally found you on Sunday. I don't like it. It took you a second, but I was like you. I've been looking for you all weekend. And for a second, you were like kind of taken aback, and then like when you realized it was me, you were like, "All right, cool."
Yeah,
so we hugged it out like right away. So
yeah, no, it's just yeah. I also want to like respect some people's boundaries. Some people are really focused on like what they're doing and stuff. But other than that, like, I mean, if you're I feel like if you're a content creator in general, I feel like you actually genuinely want to talk to the people that have been following you for like day one.
Yep,
I agree. I can't wait till I start going to that kind of stuff. But I guess that wraps it up. Steuben, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah. Let's do it up. Thanks for everybody watching on the YouTube and listening on the Spotify and the Apple and the Google. So if you wanted to see Sam's deck list, check out the YouTube version. If you're listening to the audio versions, links will be everywhere else, and we'll have all of his links and socials down below, and all the panels and all that nonsense. But that'll do it for us. Episode 6 of the Gust podcast. This was a long-winded one. Ooh, I like that. And we'll see you guys next week. Pretty clever. And that'll do it from us. Peace.
We're out of here. Peace. See ya. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you very much.